Mahlzeit! Schön, dass ihr wieder dabei seid, dass ihr wieder eingeschaltet habt. Wir machen nun weiter hier. GreedFall an dieser Stelle. Ich hoffe, ich spreche es richtig aus. Ich muss sagen, mein Englisch ist schlecht. Aber es ist nun mal so. Aber gut, ja. Wenn ich einmal dabei bin, im letzten Part haben wir hier drinne eine Einführung zu der Kampftechnik bekommen und haben unserer Mutter Lebwohl gesagt, weil wir auf die Insel gehen wollen. So. Nun machen wir mal weiter. Wir suchen unseren Vetter immer noch. Und wir müssen uns bei dem... Oh, ich müsste jetzt lügen. Statthalter. Oh, eine Kiste. Bei dem Statthalter verabschieden in dem Sinne, also dem Tschüss sagen für unseren Vetter. Also wir müssen mit dem reden, besser gesagt. So. Ei. Feinde. Was sind denn das für welche? Kommt mal her hier, ich bin hier der Mann mit den Blitzen auf der Hände. Ja, eingefroren, Digga. Schlag ne kaputt. Warum haut denn der nicht zu? Dann muss ich's machen. Zack. Komm her, du Lappen. Das war's. Loot. Alles mitnehmen. Jawohl. Nee. Ich dachte, er hat was zu sagen nach dem Kampf, aber ich glaube, den kann man jetzt immer anquatschen. So, da ist noch was. Ich glaube, da drin habe ich auch noch was gesehen, ja. Ja, alles mitnehmen, würde ich sagen. Ja, wir nehmen alles mit. Genau. So. Ich glaube, so schlecht haben wir doch gar nicht gekämpft, oder? Wir haben noch nicht mal Schaden genommen. Das waren natürlich auch Lappen, ne, denke ich. Was ist denn hier? Nichts? Ne. Hat halt bloß einer vergessen, die Tür zuzumachen. Da hinten vielleicht noch? Ja, das sieht doch schon verdächtig aus. Eine Kiste. Alles mitnehmen. Gucken wir uns später an. So. Ja, mich würde interessieren, wie ihr das Spiel so findet. Also, bis jetzt finde ich es ganz cool eigentlich. Was ist das hier? Guck mal, da kann man reingehen. Oh, ne, das ist die Hauptmission. Na, ist egal. Ist ja jetzt egal, dann machen wir halt erst das.
Sir Desade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Tirfredi on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it, and perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place. We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that. But I'm sure my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The prince would indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see. You're hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your heretics are planning on boarding a ship, then they must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do.
Okay. So, nachfragen. Ja, ich würde sagen, wir klappern alles ab. So viele Infos wie möglich. Würde ich einfach
Could you
mal
tell me anything
behaupten.
about Ptolemy?
It would be a pleasure. As you already know, our glorious nation is guided by our faith. We follow the teachings of Matthias, our founder and greatest prophet, and give thanks each day to the Luminous for having gifted us magic. The high dignitaries of Ptolemy are at the same time our spiritual guides, advocates, and grand mages.
I've heard say that dissensions have appeared recently in your nation.
Ah, you must certainly be speaking about the debates that have divided the Ordo Luminous and the more political orders. The Lord Luminous has an extremely pure vision of our faith and applies the words of our saint very strictly. But other, more open-minded factions exist within our nation. They believe that a less rigid dialectic would attract souls more readily to our faith. But their differences are purely theoretical and do not threaten the cohesion of our nation, I assure you.
Klingt ja schon fast wie so eine
What's your
Sekte.
point of view on the relations between our two nations?
As ambassador of Ptolemy, I can only rejoice at the mention of our commercial treaties. We appreciate as well the welcome that your uncle gave to our missionaries. Thanks to your support, more and more believers wander your lands. The congregation is our most precious ally. To be perfectly honest, we have only two complaints. That heresy is tolerated, and that your treaties with the Bridge Alliance are maintained.
How is Ptolemy faring on Tirfredi?
We built a marvelous city, San Mateus, on the western coast of the island. Did you know that certain historians believe that it might well have been the final resting place of our prophet? Our missionaries there are a multitude. Not a day passes without new islanders joining our sacred faith. Of course, there are certain pockets of resistance. There is talk of a demonic cult, disgusting creatures. But I am confident that the Ordo Luminous will be able to put an end to these horrors. And we have tremendous hopes that the entire native population will join our ranks.
How goes the conflict with the Bridge Alliance?
Your territory is, alas, the only one that has been spared from the ravages of war on the continent. We fight on every front. Without great success, one must say. But what other choice do we have? These so-called savants not only refuse the light, but are determined in their fight against it.
And on Tirfredi?
To my knowledge, no one has yet seen any serious fighting. The Bridge have succeeded in provoking the natives there, and have their hands full keeping them at bay. Which leaves us greater latitude to settle peacefully and pursue our mission of conversion.
Gut. Okay. Dann
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
gehen wir jetzt
May
erstmal.
the light guide you, Desade.
Gucken, ob wir diese Kätzer finden. Wer bist denn du? Sprechen mit Personal. Die sagt uns eh nichts. So, gehen wir erstmal raus. So, wo gehen wir denn lang? Ich würde sagen, erstmal zu dem Kätzerei. Nee, ich würde erst das andere machen. Komischerweise, ich würde sagen, die Person, die folgt uns immer, oder? Mit dem Hut. Seht ihr das? Guck, jetzt dreht es sich wieder um. Schon die ganze Zeit. Es ist mir vorhin schon mal aufgefallen. Oder ist das Einbildung?
Good day, good sir. How might I be of service?
You can start by explaining to me why you refuse to honor the orders agreed upon with the guard.
There's been a misunderstanding, sir. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price has gone up since. I've nothing to do with it.
This is inadmissible. If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm just an agent. And I'm only obeying orders.
Ja.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendant seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end, whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain, it's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
Following orders. Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agree to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You're demanding a second payment but refuse to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing me to madness. You understand now why I'm asking for your help?
Ja, jetzt ist die Frage, was machen wir denn?
I'm certain we can come to an
Oh, wir versuchen es mal so.
You are clearly the apprentice of a
Bestechen wir den.
who expects you to follow orders without raising a brow. Life in your shoes can't be easy. Perhaps we could help you take the weight of your feet.
And what would I have to do in exchange? If I give you the merchandise, my master will still demand the price you're supposed to pay me.
Not if you were robbed. By pure chance. I mean, it could happen to anyone. What if the guards leave a little extra bonus in your pocket as you look away? And while you're making yourself busy elsewhere, some of my men break in and collect their merchandise. You'll just have to make a devastated, the dastardly boldness of them face in front of your master, and we're done.
And the bonus will be how much?
Well, you won't be retiring with it.
Oh. All right. Done. I'm with you. As soon as I've received my bonus, my eyes will grow weary-like.
Geht doch.
Not just yet. You'll get your bonus afterwards. The guard has already been taken once by your promises.
Well, you can't hold it against me for trying. Very well. Call for your men to come.
You're certainly honoring your
Super.
new title. Bravo! The quartermaster must be expecting us.
Perfekt. Haben wir den einfach bestochen. Da, schon wieder die. Ich sag doch, die folgt uns. So, gucken wir mal weiter. So, müssen wir da hin. Da lang. Hafenviertel.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sade, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
So, und wieder mal. Ja, das Gequassel hier ist schon ganz schön heftig, ne? Aber es ist nun mal so bei einem Rollenspiel. Also langsam könnte mal ein bisschen Action passieren hier, finde ich.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish, you'll find them over there, in port.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking? Maybe clandestine passengers?
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Ptolemy's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Nords. No one else may enter.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nord from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Tirfredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
So, haben wir das auch geschafft? Mal sehen. Wir den Schiffsjunge finden.
Be
Gehen.
back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people
Genau.
smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
So, ich würde sagen, wir suchen erstmal die zwei Freunde von dem Schiffsjunge. Würde ich einfach mal vorschlagen. Weil die müssen ja hier im Hafen irgendwo sein. Das sind sie nicht. Ja, hier ist eine Kiste. So. Ja, das ist halt das Problem. Gut. Wer natürlich Englisch, der Sprache Englisch mächtig ist, dann hat er natürlich da gar keine Probleme. Bei mir ist das halt alles, ich muss halt alles lesen und ich bin halt leider nicht so gut in Englisch. So ist es nun mal. Hier ist aber nichts. So, weiter, weiter, weiter. Ist ja noch was passiert heute in dem Part hier. Wieder eine Kiste. Dann ziehe ich dann jedes Mal das Ding, weil ich immer gewöhnt bin, mit Dreieck die Kiste zu öffnen. Da ist ein Zeichen wieder dran. Können wir also reingehen.
But perhaps we'll discover some useful information.
Ach da. Das wird wohl der sein, oder? Hoffe ich.
Day sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas?
Na siehste,
You
da
bet
ist er
your
doch.
stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Thank you, Laura. I need to be going.
So. Der denkt also, dass er entführt wurde. Oder denkt es zu wissen. Auch wenn er betrunken war. Dann gucken wir mal weiter. Die anderen noch finden. Ach, da, alles klar. Sollen wir die noch befragen? So eine die, oder?
Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
Boah, und wieder 1000. Oh mein Gott.
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
Okay.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Er nippt immer nur.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
Na da.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
I need to be going. Farewell.
Strange story this is.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to
Da
lift
hast
the
du wohl
veil.
recht. Gut. Bisschen komisch alles mit dem Schiffsjunge. Auch von dem Captain scheinen sie alle eigentlich viel zu halten. Na komm, geh hoch. Ja. Hat den Steg kaputt gemacht. Alte Lagerhäuser. Was ist denn das? Werktisch. So, da kann man Sachen verbessern. Okay. Aber ich würde sagen, das machen wir jetzt noch nicht. Wo habe ich denn das Feuerschwert her? Ach, bestimmt, weil ich vorbestellt habe. Vorbesteller müssen wir auch noch reingucken eigentlich. Was es da so gibt für Klamotten und Zeug. Was es gegeben hat, besser gesagt. Quests abschließen, okay. Ja. Gibt halt viele Möglichkeiten, um die Quests abzuschließen in dem Sinne. Ja. Okay. So, und wieder quasseln. So. Was hast du auf dem Herzen?
Good day, tavern keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
Der Barkeeper. So. Er muss ja auch was über unseren Vetter
Looking
wissen,
for my
ne?
cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age. Hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes. Quite the talker.
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I
Na ja,
hope you
klar.
come to reimburse me. Don't count on me
Dass
to
gerade
help
der
you,
Vetter
that's
das
not the
angezettelt
case.
hat.
What kind of damage are we talking
Wer
about?
weiß, was der jetzt wieder von uns will. Wieso hat denn unser Kollege unser Schwert da? Ist sein Schwert draußen?
I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it,
Was, wir können Sachen
I'll be
reparieren?
obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Okay. Wenn nicht, müssen wir es bezahlen. Oh Mann. Ach, da ist der Tisch.
The furniture is in terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It looks as if it's fixable. I've seen worse. We'll need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
I could repair this if I had some metal dowels.
Metalldübel.
I could repair this if I had some metal dowels.
Wo soll ich denn die hernehmen? Metalldübel. Und sowas hier rumliegen? Stimmt nicht. Ah, da ist sie wieder. Unsere Verfolgerin. Habt ihr sie gesehen?
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
No, I haven't been able to sort them out.
In that case, you need to pay me, sir.
I regret I don't have the sum you are asking for.
Either you repair them, or you reimburse their cost. Or I keep what I know about your cousin to myself.
That's ridiculous. He could reimburse you easily. He's quite a rich man.
Perhaps, but a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And as for promises, I've heard enough to fill an ocean.
Very well. I will see what I can scavenge in that case.
Gut.
I'm looking for a Nord, a young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A naught, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping. In my establishment. You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malikor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
Has the Malikor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People were still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Yeah, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Tirfredi.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man-trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures.
Ui.
Treasure abounds under every rock.
Das wird ja hoffentlich cool.
Source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some naughts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
Wenn es ja wirklich Drachen und sowas gibt, lassen wir uns mal überraschen.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Fände ich cool. Aber wir haben ja schon mal so in so Trailern und so solche gigantigen Monster gesehen. Aber ich würde gerne den Tisch reparieren hier. Aber wenn ich so auf die Zeit gucke, würde ich sagen, der Part ist vorbei. Wir machen hier im nächsten Park weiter. Er ist sogar ziemlich lang geworden. Dann, ja, schön, dass ihr dabei wart und bis zum nächsten Mal. Schaut mal bei Heiko rein, ich blende ihn euch nochmal ein. Der wird sich natürlich freuen über ein Abo und falls ihr den ein paar Daumen da lasst, ne? Alles klar, vielen Dank und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.